Area 51 is one of the most secretive places on Earth. The lack of information has led to conspiracies and wild speculations about its real purpose. Satellite images show that the area is increasing and developing significantly. However, its purpose still remains unclear. Here are 10 unusual facts about Area 51 that you probably didn't know. Initially, the nature of work which was being conducted in Area 51 was considered to be so sensitive by the US government that the CIA never disclosed its existence in any official documents. References made to the site were redacted by using numerous nicknames such as Dreamland. Only after 2013 did the CIA acknowledge that the site actually existed and is an Air Force military base. The first ever operation that was conducted in Area 51 was the development of a spy plane known as U-2. It was used to conduct surveillance on the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. When the plane started to raise suspicions and speculation, the US government created a cover story claiming that it was used as a weather research aircraft. The use of drones is now widespread. However, their development began in the 1950s in Area 51. The D-21 model is known to be the first ever unmanned aircraft that was manufactured by the US government to spy over China. However, due to an accident, it was destroyed. Area 51 was also used as a site for testing foreign aircraft, such as the Russian MiG-21. This allowed the US military to identify flaws and use it against their enemies. Later, the foreign aircraft were moved to another unknown test site. Some of the workers in Area 51 got sick and eventually died. The widows of those dead sued the US Army and collected evidence of large barrels that contained hazardous waste which was dumped by the workers. However, due to national security reasons, the case was dropped and never pursued further. When a team of astronauts were on board a flight, they accidentally took pictures of Area 51, which caused a national security debacle. This led to the acknowledgement of the base. However, the pictures were not publicized, and since then, Area 51 has been the only site which was banned from being photographed from space. Some new photos have been taken by satellites which show a hangar considerably big enough for housing a large aircraft. The US Air Force admits that an unmanned long-range surveillance drone exists as a prototype model and may be considered for testing. In May 2011, Osama bin Laden, who was residing in Pakistan at the time, was killed by a US Navy SEALs task force. These SEALs were commuted by 2 Black Hawk helicopters. During the mission, one helicopter went down and crashed. Experts who saw photos of the crash site acknowledged the fact that those were not ordinary helicopters. These helicopters were highly modified or even newer models which had not been manufactured before. It is suggested that these helicopters may have been tested in Area 51 before the operation and were much harder to detect by radar systems. Apart from the many conspiracies that talk about UFOs, reverse engineering of alien aircraft, a one world government, and the Majestic 12, the most ridiculous one was put into motion by Annie Jacobsen's 2011 book. In her book, she claims that Area 51 originated when a Soviet Union aircraft crashed in Roswell in 1947. It appeared to be an alien aircraft because the people in it were genetically engineered children. According to her, this was an experiment created by the Nazis to strike fear among US citizens, and that the children were genetically modified by Joseph Mengele, a Nazi physician.